Warning: the No AC Only Fans podcast may include content not suited for non-mature audiences who can't take a joke. We would like to apologize to absolutely fucking nobody. Enjoy.
Welcome in to the No AC Only Fans podcast with your host, Big Crispy, aka Big Simpin, aka Tyler Gum. Not sitting across the table, actually, like always, my main man, Christian Klein.
What's up, people? We're doing something a little different today. We got some baby mama drama going on the podcast.
Already had to go there.
Coming across via the telephone. Somebody don't get Veterans Day off like the rest of us, you know?
Hell no. The world don't stop where I work.
Anyways, like you said, the guest on the podcast today, Hannah.
What's up, everyone?
Liliana's mom.
That's it?
Baby mama. I don't know. I don't have anything. I wasn't trying to go too far into this. But shit. Anyways, I want to start off with that picture you fucking sent me, Christian. What the fuck is this?
That's what I'm saying.
What was that shit? Hold up. I got to pull it up here. I'm going to slap it on the screen, obviously, for the podcast, but I got to pull it up for Hannah.
I guess Kid Cudi looks like he's in a Tim Burton movie now.
Yeah, but where did you even come across that thing from?
I think he was at some award show last night.
What the fuck? Is that real?
That's real.
Yeah, that's real. I think he's gay now.
What happened to him?
Is that his boyfriend?
I'm assuming so. I ain't holding hands with my friends.
Hey, man, we might have done that sometimes. I don't know.
I don't think we ever did that.
The Easter photo.
Yeah, but we did that on purpose to be funny.
You right.
I don't think Kid Cudi did. I think Kid Cudi was doing that on purpose to show some love to his boy.
To show some love to his boy?
Or his man, whatever you want to call it.
Oh, man, I don't know. That's something else, man. Hey, I know you can't see it right now, but I do have a fucking mango margarita cut water, like a 12% thing. I'm about to shotgun this bitch because I'm going to need it today.
No, it's because I told you to.
What's going on today?
Nothing. I'm just going to need it. You know, I'm going to be nice and a little bit tipsy for this podcast. Got to have a little bit of liquor in it. Or
hell yeah.
alcohol.
Can you even get it open? Yeah,
well, this can's pretty fucking tough. So, you know what? Stop. Get off my dick.
Well, if you would have used my keys.
I got it. So anyways, what went on with you this weekend? How's the birthday party at Nasty's? Let's hear about that before we get into our topics.
I mean, it wasn't too bad. I mean, it really wasn't. It was just kind of a little get-together. Label left me.
Label left you?
Yeah, he finished the Jack game and left.
Did he bring over the strippers like he was talking about?
No.
You did that so wrong.
What do you mean?
Hey, let me tell you what this motherfucker did to me. So I got home from work on my birthday, right? This motherfucker says, I got a present for you. This motherfucker pulls out a dirty ass shirt from his closet and says, here, I got you a present. Here you go. With fucking stains and holes in it and shit.
Did he wear it?
No, he fucking tried to give it to me, and I said, bro, thanks for the gesture, but I'm good.
So he really didn't get you a present, and he just tried to
No, he just tried to, after he told me he already had my present.
What a fucking dick.
For real. What a dick.
That's something else. Anyways, we got a obviously long list of topics up here. Do you have the list still on your phone? Because I know you wrote it down.
I wrote down a few. Well, it depends on what you want to start off with at this point.
Well, Crispy was a little fried. Hey, Christian, can you hear the soundboard? Could you hear when I was playing the intro?
Yeah.
Yeah, guess what I got up on here now?
What?
You know how I feel about some Latina big booty bitches.
We got that up there for you now on the soundboard. Shit. So we go dive right into how about feelings. We'll start with this. We was talking about, because I was pretty, toasted the other night.
Oh, you was talking about your feelings last night, huh?
No. We was talking about the sensation of food.
Oh,
And,
no.
The sensation of food.
Let me tell you, yes, hold up. I got to play this soundbite because it's great for it.
My penis is tingling right now.
Have you ever had that tingling feeling? You just high, you a little bit drunk, and you just bite into something so tasty that it just like sends electrical waves through your tongue and like down your whole body, and you start tingling. You get a little bit of chub on from eating something delicious.
No.
Do I ever get a chub from eating something real delicious? That's the most fat people shit I ever heard.
Well, see, this came about from a previous relationship that she had with somebody that got a boner with cheese. And I said, listen, guys get boners from everything. I've ate a couple fucking, good things before. And, it just, you get that right taste and shit. And it takes over your body.
How you don't tell my own damn story, first off?
Well, I mean, you can tell the full story. I'm just saying
There is no full
that was
story.
the context of the story. That's why it was brought up.
I mean, we're on FaceTime. He was eating a bowl of shredded cheese, and he was like, you know what? This gives me a boner. And I'm like, the fuck not?
What the fuck?
Man, that's what you get from dating people from Hilliard anyway.
Nah, what you got from dating a guy from Hilliard to Baby?
That's fucked up. Whoa, just go to the next goddamn topic on this phone. I know you's kind of in a time crunch before you got to take a break, huh?
No, I mean we got a little bit of time.
All right. So what was the next thing on there that I put up?
I'll let you put that one. You're the one who started that last night since I got here.
Well, we'll talk this. I want to talk about we're going to talk about the Travis Scott situation.
Oh, you're gonna skip the first one?
Yeah, we're gonna. That's a. I gotta be drinking a little bit more before I get to that topic.
You brought it up when you were sober. That's on you.
I was not sober at that time. The Travis Scott situation. Do you want to express your feelings on this, Christian?
I think that motherfucker is fucked up.
Because I'm gonna have a defense here, and I know you two probably are on the same page on this one.
Yo, it's not even the fact that, like, the shit happened. Like, there's so many videos of him just being a fucked up person, like, at other shows and stuff.
He's even got arrested for the same shit before.
I get that, but
exactly.
I just don't think you can put the whole blame on him as an artist at this event. I think you also have to put the blame on the event coordinator, the security team, and everybody else, like, lack of security, lack of medical personnel, like, I get what he did, hyping up whatever, but like you got to think about it.
Well, they're saying that a lot of the security were fucking getting drugged.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what people don't realize is they're investigating that serial like drugging that was going around. They said people were going around stabbing people with needles and shit and drugging people. That's probably how most of these people died. Honestly, it's not probably because of the crowd. The show was too crowded. I get people were trampling on people. Yeah, there's going to be injuries. But I don't think the people that died because of that. I think the people that died because basically, like we said, there was a drugging going around. And that's not his fault. I mean, you can't blame the artist at the Las Vegas shooting that was performing. You can't blame him like it's his fault because the crowd got shot up by some psychopath in a hotel.
Well,
that's not his fault. It's not the artist.
I think that's a little different situation there, Big Chris.
I mean, listen, but Travis Scott, he literally was telling them like to rush to like let him in, and they did a fucking stampede, if you will, of people came through those gates and they couldn't control it at that point.
Yeah, a stampede of people came through. Sure, that's what it is. But like we said, I don't think that was the reason why people were dying. Though it was more because of the fact that people were, basically just getting fucked up by other things. It's not necessarily the stampede or the overcrowding. Yes, people may not have been breathed claustrophobic or something, but I think there's way more to the story than you can think of, and I don't think you can blame it all on him. Because I've been to multiple concerts where there's been medical personnel, the golf cart's out picking up somebody or whatever. he acknowledged when the golf cart was out there, yes, but 99% of the time the show goes on.
I mean, yeah, but at the same time, like, he literally had people, he saw the ambulance, he stopped, then he had fans crowding, stepping on the ambulances, and every time every time he would point someone out, like, oh, someone's in a tree, or oh, someone's down, or oh, there's an ambulance, he would continue right after, and then brought Drake out knowing what would happen if he did.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, at the same time, you can't just stop your performance or stop your show just because somebody's injured.
Yeah, you can. A bunch of people do it all the time.
Right, but you're not going to stop for every single person. If you have a crowd of 50,000 people, and plus, think in his perspective, are you going to be able to see what's going on with every single person in a crowd of 50,000+ people because they stormed the gates?
I mean, I think you will to a point if you care enough. I mean, look at all the shows, TikToks, YouTube, Facebook. They're blasting other artists that have actually done the right thing and even hell, got in the crowds, fought the person, pulled them out, whatever they do, they needed to do.
That's like one person. This is like multiple people doing it. You can't stop every single person from going crazy.
I'm saying, but you can start when you see, or stop when you see an issue arising.
Yeah, but I'm saying I don't think every artist catch every single bad issue that happens in a crowd. And
who the fuck even listens to Travis Scott anyway?
I know. I'm not a huge Travis Scott fan either, but I just don't think you can put the blame all on him when you have multiple, cases and stuff opening up with like the serial drugging. Like that's probably why these people died, not because of just his show.
They're not. I didn't hear anything about people in the crowd getting drugged. It was people that are in the security.
No, they were talking about how they were finding traces, like that 14-year-old died, the youngest kid. They found some trace of something that was like some type of drug that was the same in like the older people that died. So like, why would a 14-year-old be taking drugs? Obviously, he's not.
Well, shit, 14-years-olds are out here taking drugs now.
That is true.
But I heard that they, had marks in their necks from injections and stuff like that. Like, I guess, you said it's a 50-50 whether they're trampled on or it was a drugs, but either way, he should have had more responsibility.
True. I guess I can see that. Where you're coming from. We're going to take...
I just think he's a piece of shit. That's all.
I feel where you're coming from. Hold up. We're taking a quick pause just to set the baby up because he's kind of slouched down and whining.
All
right. We's back.
We brought a baby
on it. Yeah, we now have a baby on the scene in the podcast, but we back up going and doing. So that kind of closes out the Travis Scott situation. What else do we have on the? Oh, I want to talk about this because might as well while we're here. The collar and the leash situation.
You wait till I bring my kid back to then bring up that conversation?
Yes, that's the conversation I'm bringing up right now. The collar and the leash thing.
I mean, a disclaimer, that's not how he got brought into this world, so we'll put it out there first.
Well, no. You remember how you was arguing before, Christian, about how people that wear a collar and a leash only do it, if they're forced to do it or whatever?
I never said that. That's what Tony said.
Or I think that's what Rachel said, actually.
Okay, well, anyway, what were you saying?
We was talking about collar and a leash, and we have an expert on that topic that maybe can come in here and, bring some insight on why it's a thing.
I'm not an expert, first off. It's just a preference, if you will.
So explain your mindset on it. What is so appealing about wearing a collar or having a leash? What is that thing that makes it more exciting?
I mean, for me, most people our generation are kind of, they consider choking to be vanilla nowadays, or anything that's a typical fetish seems to be vanilla. I mean, I don't know. I think physical restraint, or just feeling that, or someone having that power, I guess, of restraint over you kind of makes the mood intensify. I like that feeling, I guess, if someone having that physical control, or to do it to another female.
How do you feel about this, guys?
I mean, to each their own.
To each their own. I mean, you don't get no little bit, you don't explore at the bedroom at all?
Oh, yeah, I do.
You do, but have you ever tried, maybe not a collar and a leash, but have you ever tried tying up or any of that restraint type of thing?
Even
maybe
just
some handcuffs or something?
A little bit.
A little bit. Man, you be doing that vanilla shit. Don't lie.
Nah, I wouldn't say that.
But that's what we was talking about when we was talking about like, yes, there's a sexual aspect to it, right? A fetish aspect. But that girl that I was talking to at that one time that was like, would you mind if I wore it in public? Like, I mean, that's another thing. I don't know what her mindset was fully like wearing it in public and shit. But I mean,
do you not know what that means?
No, is there a significance?
So basically,
it?
like, okay, so there's a difference. Like, for instance, I've had like a one that had like a locket on it, but like me and Autumn got it as a friendship thing, you know, like as a girl pact, blah, blah, blah. But if your significant other gives it to you and they put the lock on and they don't give you the key, it's a sign of ownership in public to people of the BDSM community.
Ownership, huh?
So yes, she's basically, making it known that she has an owner.
Well, she spent 72 hours in that.
She was telling them people up at the Dublin Springs about her owner for 72 hours.
And I never heard from her after that, man. It was like a completely different person when she came out of that place.
Yeah, because they fucking gave her about 15 different pills.
They fucked you up in there.
That was weird. I'm glad I never made that trip back up to Delaware. That could have been something else, man. But no, she was trying to come to the pool party with that shit on. And I said, shit, you come to the pool party with you on, I'll hold that leash. I'll walk you around. Shit, don't tempt me with a good time.
That'd have been something else.
I'm kind of sad it didn't happen. It would have been awesome. But we never really had a pool party in general. You know, we didn't have that opening pool party with like Mark, Tony, and all them and shit.
Yeah. I don't know what the fuck happened with that.
I don't know, man. That shit would have been wild, though. I mean, maybe we can do it this year, coming up and shit. Have a good old party. At least if you're, people travel out of town like it did last time, we definitely having a no AC only fans party at the pool. We definitely going to have to bring some people through.
Hell yeah.
I'll say, while we're on the topic of fetishes, if you will, should we bring up a story from before Lily?
Oh, what's the story? You got to tell it. I'm not sure what story you're talking about.
Well, I mean, if you might get a little offended.
What are we talking about?
When you wanted to test out a pee fetish.
Oh.
A what? A what fetish?
There was a time that I was exploring, Christian.
And he wanted to know what it would feel like to be peed on.
Oh my God, R. Kelly up in here.
Listen, it was like a one-time thing, and it was like, okay, maybe this isn't what I think it was.
I mean, if we're going into detail, I don't think the setup was quite it either. You decided that being in the bathtub was more your game. But,
we was in the shower. What was I supposed to do?
You were full body in the tub and had me standing over you. That is not in the shower.
We was in the shower.
No, that's when you made me fall and about crack my damn rib.
Don't be fucking in the shower if you're
We weren't fucking. We were trying to switch the water, switch sides. You're like, don't mind me. You're going to break your fucking rib for you. No.
Jesus Christ.
But no, back to you testing the waters, if we will. You thought it'd be all fun and games, have me standing over you, and then you made me fucking laugh, and then what thought was going to hit your body and hitting your mouth.
It was gross.
Ew.
It was gross.
That's fucking gross.
From that day on, I think we were safe to say neither of us wanted that.
Yeah, that's I think that's the best decision.
Now we're talking about them stories. We got to tell the story. So I'm glad I never did this with you, Christian, but one of my good friends called one time, right, from high school.
Mm-hmm.
He calls me up. He's like, hey, what you guys doing? and me and Hannah was chilling. And, we was in the middle of something. But we didn't stop. We was still, doing our thing on the phone.
On speaker.
While we was talking, I was just going at it.
He wasn't talking. He was playing his little guitar, having a little jam session to himself.
He was playing his guitar, yeah, but I was still fucking. I didn't stop for nothing.
course not.
So has that ever happened to you? You ever been beating your meat or, in the middle of fucking and somebody call you and you answer the phone and continue what you doing?
No, hell no.
Is that wrong to do to your friend?
Yeah, that's kind of wrong to do to your friend.
So you're telling me if like you hit up Label or Label hit up you and he was doing something that would be, you would be like, come on, man.
I just wouldn't pick up the phone.
You wouldn't know though.
Yeah, but I mean, if you didn't know, I guess it wouldn't matter.
But if you called him, if you called him and he answers and you're like, what's up? He's like, I'm smacking this, 350 pregnant bitch right now. And you just like, shit, call me back. He's like, no, I got time to talk, brother.
Call me back.
Speaking about that, how did that ever turn out? I didn't get to come over that night. So did they come back? Yes, no?
What did you say?
I said, did they come back that night? How did that whole situation turn out?
Wait, what are you talking about?
When Label had those 35-year-olds over.
Oh, he said something about, he didn't want to tell me the story, but I guess the cops got called.
The cops got called? Why did the cops get called?
I don't know. He didn't want to tell me about it.
Oh, shit. Where did they get called to? The bar? The place they were at?
He didn't even tell me that. He just said some shit went down, the cops got called.
Dion was probably trying to eat some ass in public.
That's fucking nasty.
Anyways, we'll move to the how about Big Bird getting vaxxed, the tweet he sent out. I know this is your lovely, you got the inside information on this one.
Big Bird getting vaccinated.
Hell yeah.
So Big Bird tweeted out, I just got vaccinated. And Joe Biden's Twitter tweeted back at him and said, congratulations, that's the best way to protect your whole neighborhood. Some fucking propaganda to little kids. Oh, and speaking of that, let's talk about this. In Virginia, I was watching the news last night, and they gave like 90 kids the wrong vaccine dosage at a drugstore down there. Let's wait to see how that turns out. Some people are probably going to die.
For real?
Yeah, I heard about it last night in Loudoun County, Virginia.
That's crazy, dude. Like, what the fuck? So, how many are they expecting to die?
I don't know. They didn't say that, but
that's just some wild. That's some wild shit, though. If they expect, like, multiple people to die over some bullshit like that. Do you now, like you said, how do you feel about the whole, like the company shit, like getting vaccinated and shit? What's your stance on? Obviously, I agree that. I'm sure we both agree that we disagree that should be happening, but hell
no, I don't think they should make people get vaccinated. It should be your choice.
So do you think it's going to get pushed through? Or
Probably
do you think
not.
it's going to get stopped by the lawsuits?
There's like fucking 38 states suing the government right now about that shit. It's not going to happen.
True. There is a lot of people suing right now for that in regards. But if they did allow vaccination to certain people or whatever, or companies, do you think the 100 employee rule would, like, they would find a way to swing the vote? Like, say you're a mom and pop grocery store of 20 something people, right? But you have a distributor and this other company, they have more than 100 employees. So they're like, oh, well, because you're in contact with these people, you have more than 100 employees. Your employees have to be vaccinated.
Fuck that shit. It's not going to happen.
If they do, you realize how many companies are going to go bankrupt or like lose.
Well, no, apparently you just have to go get a COVID test every week.
Yeah, that's some bullshit. You think the company's going to pay for you to go get a COVID test every week? No, they ain't.
They have to.
They ain't going to give a fuck. They're going to make you go do it yourself.
I mean, they should cover it, or it should be like in your company's insurance policy if you're getting insurance through your employer.
Yeah, but I doubt they're going to do that. That's
well, yeah, COVID tests are free anyway.
Yeah, free from the government. Now, when
But I'm not trying to get nose fucked every week.
How do you feel about that when they get your brain fluid and shit like that and all that shit that's been happening? Because does it depend on what type of test you take? Because you can take a rapid test. You can take all these different tests and like what happens, when you take
I've had 2. One of them, they gave me like a little Q-tip in my nose and it wasn't bad at all. But the last one I had, it was like fucking 12 inches up my nose.
That shit burns for 12
inches up your nose.
Yeah, it fucking sucks.
Are you feeling it now?
Sad. I am feeling the liquor, to be honest. This dude, Christian, I don't know if you ever had Cutwater. This is a shout out to Cutwater. Maybe we can get a sponsorship. But these fucking mango margaritas, dude, they're 12.5% fucking cans.
Yeah, you gonna drink them bitches and you gonna be taking a nap in about 2 hours.
Well, I'm about done with my second one, and I'm about already feeling it.
And you're red as can be from it.
I am pretty fucking red, and the people on the camera can tell I am pretty red. But off the vaccination topic, let's talk about...
Hold on, one more thing about the vaccination.
Yeah.
My dad said he's going to have a real big talk with you about getting vaccinated.
Your dad's
your
gonna
big fat ass gets this. It's going to be a problem for you.
No,
Yeah, he did.
He really said that?
He said you'll be on the ventilator in 2 days.
Damn, he really called me out like that, huh?
I'll just lend you my asthma shit. There you go.
I haven't been on COVID yet, brother. We good, me?
I know, but my dad almost died from the shit. He's going to be all over it.
I know, but me and COVID have a great relationship with each other. We just don't fuck with each other.
Yeah, it's because you ain't got it yet. But if you
never know. Maybe I did get it in the early stages. There was a couple times where I was pretty fucking sick.
No, that's what my dad thought too, and you didn't get it. But if you get this shit, you'll know you had it.
Bro, I was pretty sick in like December or November before COVID really like came a thing in the United States. I was pretty sick, and I was to the point where I was like crawling on the ground. I couldn't breathe. Like Brock had it too, and Brock had to go to the hospital, and they said it was upper respiratory infection. And we think we had the same shit. That could have been COVID before it was COVID. You never know.
Maybe you already had it already.
Yeah, and that's why I've been good through this whole pandemic. I never got sick because I already had the shit. I got the antibodies, and Big Crispy's fucking system's just good,
Well, they say the antibodies, they say they only last for at most 6 months.
That's some bullshit. Well, when you eat ass like Big Crispy, you good, bro.
What ass?
What ass have you been eating? Your own?
No. Don't worry about it.
Ass too, and I ain't getting it. I still got the COVID.
That's why you got because you never had it before, though. That's the problem. Speaking about eating ass, why the fuck these homeless people never get COVID, Chris?
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Homeless people don't ever get COVID.
How does that go hand with eating ass?
The
first
homeless,
off?
Because them homeless people be fucking dirty. They be doing some dirty shit.
They be Frank Gallagher it the fuck up.
I mean, I did catch some shit doing security in the Short North, so.
What?
People were fucking in the stairway of the Short North Kroger. 2 homeless people.
And you caught some shit?
Like, I witnessed it, unfortunately.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying like you caught some disease or something from doing that. I was like, wait a minute.
That ain't my
Wait, so when you caught some people fucking in the Short North on the stairs, were you mad because you asked to join in and they told you to fuck off?
I was mad that I couldn't burn my eyes after that shit. I mean, you see some shit working in the Short North, I'll tell you that. Tyler would know.
I will admit, dude, there was like multiple times where like people like the homeless people, and not even the homeless people. There was a couple times where we caught like kids, like little kids and shit. They were stealing shit, and like they'd be like 12-year-olds and shit and fucking be stealing something from it or whatever. It was fucking wild, dude. Like they would just steal random shit, and you would catch like fucking kids, and you would have to call CPS. That was the problem. Like you'd call CPS and they'd be like, okay, where's your parents at? Like you got your parents' numbers or some shit. And they'd be like, no, I don't got my parents' information. And you're like, what do you mean you ain't got your parents' information? They would try to like get away so their parents didn't have to get called. And the Columbus Police Department was always like, Well, guess what, motherfucker? If you don't give us your parents' numbers, we're calling CPS and you're going to a home, you son of a bitch.
That's fucked up.
They would. That's how they would do things. They didn't give two fucks, dude. They basically turned around and, anything that bad that happened, they would basically just take them out, and they would, it was your parents, we get a hold of your parents or we don't do anything. And a lot of times the parents were like basically non-existent. Like we would call parents and they wouldn't even answer the phone, dude. Like they did not give two fucks about their kids. Their kids would be stealing hundreds of dollars worth of product and, alcohol and shit, like at fucking in 7th, 8th grade. And like, they wouldn't care a fuck. Like the cops would be calling them. They would never answer the phone, never call back. We would have them kids in the office for like 4 or 5 hours before fucking somebody would come pick them up, or the cops would just go try to drop them off at their place.
I mean, have you ever dealt with like runaways? Like I had to deal with at least one while I was still doing security on the south side.
Nah, I never did with the runaways. I did with trainees trying to steal Barbies, though. Did I ever tell you that story, Chris?
No, what the fuck?
Yeah, so I'm at the Kroger on South High over by me now on South High Street. I was doing security. It was a marketplace Kroger at the time. It's no longer a marketplace now. And we was chilling on the inside, and the LP calls me in the office. I'm like, what the fuck's going on? He goes, look at this dude. It's a big black dude, like probably like 6'3", 6'3" to 6'5". He's wearing a fucking crop top, like a white crop top and a skirt. And I'm like, that's a fucking dude. Why is he wearing that? First off, he was a tranny, whatever. Had a blonde wig on. Definitely a dude. He was putting a bunch of Barbies in his cart. He had probably a cart full worth of Barbies and like other toys and shit. It wasn't just all Barbies, but mainly Barbies. And this motherfucker tried to run out of the store with the cart full. And I tell you, you know how big I am, bro. And this guy that I was working with was a pretty tall security guard, and he was pretty beefy too. I jumped on this motherfucker's back, and this dude was like carrying me like a backpack, man, and dragging the LP as we were trying to get the cart. He fucking eventually just let go of the cart and ran to his car. And like, I eventually like just fucking let go of him and like fell off his back. He hopped in his little fucking Toyota Corolla and sped off, and we got pictures of his license plate and shit. But dude, I'm telling you, them motherfuckers, they don't fuck around. That dude was something else, bro. It was hilarious. I'm like, dude, I literally just got like fucking showed up by a dude in a skirt. Like I kind of felt bad about it. Like I let some big black motherfucker in a skirt just make me look like I was nothing.
Jeez Christ.
Dude, it's crazy. Them people are wild, man. That security job sucked. You see some random shit. Homeless people stealing shit. I loved when I worked in the liquor store on the North High Street Kroger's, because all them bitches would try to shove liquor bottles up their skirt and their pussies and fucking try to put it in their purses and shit. And then you would have to come stop them. They'd be like, I ain't got nothing. You just stopping me because I'm blah, blah, blah. Or you just stopping me because of this. And I'm like, nah. Like, I watched you put that shit up in your purse, or I watched you shove that shit up in your vagina. And they would do it, dude. And you would like be like, listen, like, just take the shit out. I ain't trying to reach my hand up there. Like, you know what I mean?
God.
You just reminded me, this guy was trying to steal like Easter candy. He's like, oh man, it's for my kids. They need to have Easter. And me being the only female, they made me throw on some gloves and fucking touch the candy because it was down his fucking pants. I was like, I don't want no dick candy.
I wouldn't do that. You should make the guys do that.
They were too pussy to do it. They made me fucking touch it. I mean, I've had to deal with some nasty shit.
Bro, that's not a job for the, weak people, man.
All right, well, can we take a quick commercial break real quick? My job's calling me. They said it's important.
We'll take a quick break real quick.
All right.
See you in a minute. All right. We is back up in the podcast.
We back.
For real. Now going back on to finish the homeless. Like I said, we said the homeless and the sluts on Sullivan Avenue never got pregnant. I never not got pregnant. Shit. Never got COVID. My bad. I'm fucked up. No, so yeah, basically we left off there. I mean, that's pretty wild that, somehow they never get COVID, but it is what it is, I guess. You got that superhuman strength. Shit doesn't happen to you. You know what I mean?
I'm about to start calling you Big Pissy Crispy
Why? Why is that?
because you like piss on me.
I like piss. No, I don't like piss. We told you this. It was like a one-time thing, and it was like never again.
Big Crispy the Piss.
Hey, I will say, okay, so we're gonna move on to the next topic. Here, what was it? The single mothers. What specifically were we talking about when it came to single mothers?
You guys started. I mean, hold on. Speaking
We
of,
got a fussy baby. Speaking about single mother,
I didn't give him the right boob. I'm sorry. I mean, I guess we can try to talk about that as we open back up to me feeding on camera.
well, the podcast is definitely gonna be blurred during this section. You know what I mean?
Oh, it's fine. You can't
But,
see nothing.
Yeah, single mothers, Christian. How do you feel? Would you ever date a single mother?
No,
Not once.
no,
Even if she had one kid, you wouldn't do it.
no.
So what do you think the limit? What do you think the limit is? Do you like people that date single mothers? There should be a certain type of limit on it before you call it like, okay, we don't do it.
Well, I mean, I think that's why I found me a girl with no kids. So whenever we want to have kids, we can just have kids together. We ain't got to worry about being single parents.
True, that is true. But as a person with a parent, or as a parent that is still single, that is dating, what is the max limit on kids? Because I told you last night, I said, bro, I couldn't be dating with nobody more than 2 kids because I'm trying to have another one, and I think three is my limit. I ain't trying to raise 4. You know what I mean? Like maybe.
Well, damn, but you know how it is though. Whenever you meet somebody that's got kids and you got kids, y'all are at least gonna want to have one kid together.
Exactly.
Together.
Exactly.
So what you trying to do? Have a household full of 5 youngins up in there?
No, that's like my dad and his ex-girlfriend, bro.
Oh.
They had 6 kids living up in that household.
Hell no.
I couldn't do that, man. That's too many kids, especially at once. Maybe if they're grown and like they're 20 years old, if you got like 3 20 years olds and like one that's about to turn 18 and one that's like 13, sure, maybe have another kid. But I couldn't do like, fucking 2 7-year-olds and then having like
2
2 more.
7-year-olds and a 4-year-old.
Yeah, I couldn't give another one, that'd be too many.
That's too much.
That is way, way too much. But have you ever said some stupid shit to an ex when you was drunk
Oh my god.
or high
Or both.
or both?
No.
Never? Not once.
No.
I brought up a question, right?
Oh.
Because I was feeling some type of way last night, right?
You always feeling some
Hey,
type of way.
not all the time, right? And I was thinking about this. I go, shit. Would you ever just let me eat some pussy for what? I miss eating pussy. No sex, right? No kissing, no loving, just some straight pussy
Just
eating.
jump right into that?
Would you ever just have a straight pussy eating partner?
We don't need you chiming in.
Is that a yes or no, Kirsten? You didn't answer the question.
No. No.
You don't think you can do that? Say you and Rachel broke up, right? And you was like, shit, like we don't gotta be fucking, but like, could I just eat some pussy? You don't think you never get to that stage?
That's some weird ass shit. That's some shit that you be doing.
I asked that question. I said, shit, let me just, I miss eating pussy. Like I don't even care about having sex. It's like shit. I miss being able to go down on somebody every once in a while.
Why don't you hit up the dating apps?
I've been on them dating apps, bro. You know how that's been working out. I can't deal with these bitches with no jobs.
Why? What is up with you and always finding bitches with no job?
Because that's the only bitches that want a single father out there. You know what I mean? They don't want no. You know that you got a kid. They're like, shit, he gonna take care of me. He taking care of the
You
kid.
need to go out to them bars where there's older women that don't give a fuck about
I ain't
that.
trying to meet people at a bar though. MILFs, yes, that's one thing. But you know, if they older than 40, sure, I'll go right ahead. But I ain't trying to meet
Older
somebody.
than 40?
If I ain't,
What's your limit?
do you know what my oldest person I've slept with was? Did I ever tell you this?
What, like 60?
57.
Trying to date someone like your mom's age?
That's older than my mom. That's like 4 years older than my mom.
Imagine bringing her around for the holidays. Ooh.
Shit. What was the oldest you was with again, Christian?
I think 50 something.
How about you?
This is put me on the fucking spot.
We'll go with actual consensual relationship.
I was gonna say like non-consensual was 38, but consensual was about 8 years older than me. So I think he was like 32 when I was 22 or 21.
Damn, you gotta step your game up.
Well, listen, I ain't trying to look after what I just went through. So
Old people got that experience, don't they, Christian?
but also like I'm more into like I'd rather have an older woman situation at this point in my life. I don't need no men.
How do you feel about that, Christian?
Feel about what?
Single mom, 2 kids, wants an older woman in her life.
I guess to each their own.
I mean,
I guess
hey,
somebody's got to help you pay them diaper bills.
damn. I mean, hey, as my dad says, at least I can't get pregnant again. So
Can't
That's
get
true.
pregnant again.
If you're sleeping with a woman, you can't get pregnant.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
True that.
the only downside, your periods sync up and you're just bitchy all the time together.
Mm.
Can't do it. I don't even like fucking women half the time. There's too much.
Yeah, speaking about that, let's go into that. What's the experience of sleeping with a woman like? Because we're not
Oh.
lesbians, obviously. I need to know how this goes down. We need an insight and a lesbian insight on this shit now. Since you play with that team now.
I just didn't experience. Okay, listen,
I'm sorry, you was
off camera
Bye.
shit. No, not even that. It was just we had some off camera talks about when I went through some assault, if you will, that I thought I had to play the team that everyone wanted with having kids, and now that's the team that I go for.
you don't always got to play on that team. This team sucks anyways, to be honest with you.
But I mean, I also had the worst person to experience that with. Found out she said I turned her gay, but she was not very attractive or really good at what she was doing, to say the least.
So you basically got no full experience, is what you're trying to say.
No, like if we're how explicit is this need to be or allowed to be?
I mean, it can be as explicit as I want. I mean, we've talked about several times how me and Label, when me, Label, and Christian went over there and the lesbians all lesbians want dick. Let's be honest here. All lesbians like dick in some type of way, correct? Because that one girl was trying to fuck with Big Crispy and the other girl fucked Label. And if Christian didn't come in at that right time, I probably would have hit the other one, but some shit happened. But I mean, I don't know. They was together. How long did they say they were together for? Like 2 or 3 years?
Yeah.
So they was a long-standing lesbian relationship couple. You know what I mean? I just don't know what the inside of that relationship was. Besides, they was both psychopaths. Well, the one was a psychopath. She threatened to shoot us with a gun.
What'd you do?
Because Label was fucking her girlfriend. But she was the one that hit up Label and said, send Big Crispy back to the house. I'm trying to fuck him.
Well, you should have did it when you had the chance.
Well, Christian walked in. That was kind of...
So you got cock blocked.
No. I mean, yes and no. It wasn't Christian's fault because he was pretty drunk and he doesn't remember. But this bitch also was trying to find her gun and whipped out a knife and basically forced us to try to find Label with her or else we was going to get fucked up.
Just left him hanging for himself.
Lesbians are wild, dude. The best part of that story is when they went back in the house after we found her, and me and Christian sitting outside the window listening to what's going on. And the bitch runs out the house and goes, "Are you motherfuckers listening to my conversation through the window?" We just took off running. That shit was wild. That was awesome. Great times. That's going to be a memory I'm going to tell my kids.
Yeah, me too. All right, well, I got to get off here. I don't know if they're going to keep going or not. But.
Yeah, I mean, we'll have a little bit of conversation. We're at like 45 minutes. Maybe we'll do an hour or something. Who knows?
Yeah, well, it's been real, guys. I just got some shit to do. I'll be back live in person for the next episode.
Have fun taking your girl to work and doing all that shit. Can't wait till her car gets fixed.
Oh my God.
And we'll, I can't wait to see you this weekend with JoJo, and we're going to have a good classic old podcast.
Hell yeah.
I miss you, brother. Stay safe out there.
Miss you too.
And
hey, don't be driving today.
I ain't driving worth shit.
All right, I'll see you this weekend.
Yeah, we'll do. Later.
All right, later.
But now that we can talk about it.
So back on the conversation, you want my point of view?
Yeah, I want your point of view. I want to know how you feel about that. Because, I mean, let's say not only this, I'm sure there's been other women you've talked to.
Oh, yeah.
You have conversated with other girls and you may have exchanged pictures or may have flirted a little bit.
I mean, I've gotten free tit pics without having to reciprocate.
Shit. Okay.
I mean,
is that a common thing between females, whether they're straight or bi or lesbian, straight up?
This girl was strictly a straight whore, straight. She just wanted a dick, but would play around with girls when she was drunk, kind of deal. I mean, it was like a free thing. She had no context, no meaning behind it.
She wanted to experiment, but she wasn't open to experimenting when she was sober. Basically.
I mean, I didn't know her well enough. I kind of stayed away from her. She was kind of getting around town in the London scene, if you will. So London girls are.
How did you get involved with that if you was with somebody?
It was literally a little meaningless Facebook post. It was like I'm having a bad day, send me a pic of your titties kind of joke everyone was doing. So for shits and giggles, I'm pretty sure I shared that and I got no titty pics. Yeah, I shared that picture on Facebook and, my boyfriend at the time was next to me and he's like, all right, sent that. He's good. No, but I sent that, or put that status up, whatever. And this girl hit me up. She goes, "Don't you have a man?" And I was like, "He doesn't care." Send me that picture into this day. I mean, I don't delete my Facebook messages, so it may or may not still be in my messages.
Yeah, but do you ever use, okay, there's a good question. Do you ever use any pictures like that as if a guy, obviously as a guy, there's been pictures sent prior to somebody or whatever.
I mean, I plead the fifth.
Your significant other sends it and then you use it as material when you're doing your thing.
Like I said, I plead the fifth.
So that's a yes. Let's just be honest. You can just say that.
I mean, I have a vivid imagination, if you will, too, so I don't always need pictures.
I guess that's true, yeah, but I just know that's a guy thing, obviously. If some girl sends you a picture of her body, you're like, shit, maybe I'll use this for material later.
Well, yeah. I mean...
Shit happens.
I mean, also, I guess while we're on this conversation, going from... being with guys for a while, this wasn't my cup of tea. It's a whole different ballgame when you're with women. Like how I was telling earlier, with the whole leash thing. I would like to do that to a female I'm with. It's actually funny because with a guy, I'm considered a switch, but with female, I'm the more dominant and control one. I like to be.
I'm sure there's
wearing
some
the pants.
I'm sure there's some guys out there that wouldn't mind the dominance. There are guys that are more submissive than dominant. Yeah. I mean, are you saying that you would want that one or you would try that? I mean, I've always been open to it, I guess you could say. I guess you could say there's been times where, like you said, to switch, you could be like, okay, I like to be in control. And then there's times where you're like, I wouldn't mind. I mean, the first time I ever got tied up and shit, I was like, wait a minute, this is something, I'm enjoying this, you know what I mean? And, the first time, you were really not in control of anything, it was a pleasurable experience, if that's what you're saying.
Right, I'm saying, but, all right, well, fuck my phone. So, like, I was wondering, like, if you like to, experience being tied up and all, like, you've had that experience, would you go, like, straight dominatrix, like, straight into the BDSM community?
I don't know about that because, I mean, like, I don't think I want to be, like, my shit stepped on and, like...
Well, you can choose, like, your comfort.
I think it would depend, yeah. Like, I don't know if I want to be abused, but...
I mean, it's not for the faint.
I'm sure there's some parts where that would be like, okay, that's not okay. Like any sexual relationship you have with somebody, you have to set boundaries. But like, I'm sure there would be things I'm okay with, maybe shit that I haven't tried that I'm into or something like that.
So my question is, before we get back on topic, is that, if you know what some of your kinks are and stuff, have you heard of the BDSM test on the internet?
Yeah, don't worry about that.
No, like, have you taken it?
I know about it. I may have in the past. I don't remember.
Did you save your results?
I don't think I did.
So you need to retake it.
I remember taking the test and remember what I was into, and I was like, huh. But I think my answers also changed over time. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because there's shit that you're not into, and then there's shit that like come across that you're into, and you're like, oh, now I actually kind of like that, or now that I tried it, it's like, oh, that's.
Or like you might be curious. I mean, like I have mine. Like.
Oh, you have your results?
Yeah.
Oh God.
I mean, this is like what's considered the most recent, which I don't fully agree with all of it. Are you good?
You got your binky ding? Where's that at?
It's over there. Sorry, guys.
But I mean, before you get into the results, this is an honest question now, because I know where most of these results get posted on.
Oh, I never posted this.
Or taken from. You're not on any specific website in regards to this?
No, I know you want me to have an OnlyFans, but I do not have one.
No. I'm talking about there's a whole website / community just for what you're talking about.
Oh no.
That may or may not be on. or was
You're on? No, I mean, unless you're referring that I was in a Facebook group in the past, where, I'm not going to disclose the name because it is closed down now. But we were like in a private Facebook group where you can kind of share like anything, like, so like, if you're kind of feeling yourself and you took a picture and you want to share,
But did you do that?
Well, I'm sharing. So yes, I was in this Facebook page where, you could send pictures, talk about, whatever it is, adult content. Like, I mean, we've even had times like, oh, show off your tattoos, show off your piercings. Back when I had my, my nipples pierced still, like, yes, I went on and shared that with my friend group on there. Like, but, it was also, some people met up and had relations. I never met any of these people, but I knew them. I knew some of them in person, but I never met up and did any acts with them. It's just more like a community of BDSM and just adult content.
Well, I mean, there is a website for that.
Yeah, I know. You've been trying to get me to get on there.
No. That is not at all.
Okay, fine.
Explicit.
You offered to. You said you would pay me directly if I do a little photo shoot for you.
This is what I'm talking about. There is a whole community web page and app for this type of thing. All right, we're back.
Hey, take a quick intermission, if you will. Grumpy kids, drunk, Big Crispy here.
Listen, I ain't drunk. I'm just tips.
Tipsy, you done shotgun one and chugged another.
Yeah,
all affectionate, drunk in the kitchen.
Shout out to Cutwater, by the way, if you ever fucking never had these shit. This mango margarita is pretty good. There is many different. 12.5% in a little can. That shit is pretty good. I'm definitely going to have to buy these again. They were definitely worth it. They ain't like them seltzers that, just like Stelzers is what I usually say, but seltzers.
Stelzer is a road.
Stelzers is what I typically say. But Rachel always corrects me and says seltzers.
Yeah,
Well,
I live off of Stelzer. We don't
Listen.
drink Seltzer, or we drink Seltzers, not Stelzers.
fuck off. It's seltzers.
That shit's also for pussies. I'm
But-
sorry. No, I'm saying Seltzers. Like those, I would drink.
Seltzers are good.
Well, yeah, but like
They have
I
good
like my
flavor.
hard liquor.
Yeah, but also 8% seltzers are awesome. Like the Bud Light Platinum seltzers or the White Claw Surges.
At that point, fucking drink a fucking Four Loko.
Mm-mm.
They don't taste so they get the job done.
I can't drink Four Logos after that time I puked on the one.
I mean,
The only time I puked drinking was drinking the Four Locos Gold, and I was
Ugh.
chasing it with the Jack Daniel's apple cider. Because that bitch broke my heart in Upper Sandusky, and I was like, well, she didn't break my heart, but I was pretty fucking disappointed she didn't come through to the party, and like she wasn't married. Oh well, you know what I mean. That was that whole situation, but I was pretty upset about that, so I was drinking heavily that night, and that was the only night I puked drinking.
I mean, I don't really puke drinking. The only time I ever had was drinking. Like I think I drank like about like 2.5 pints, like little pint bottles of like Jameson Fireball, and then I had like a big glass full of wine, and then decided to top off my night with a fucking Irish car bomb. And let me tell you, that shit does not settle well.
I'm sure that's too much liquor just mixing.
Well, someone broke my heart that day. We were heartbroken over here, okay?
Yeah, that's mainly why you drink like that, you know. Is when
Not
you're
no
fucked
more.
up.
You know, shout out to only drinking fucking water and body armor over here.
True, but I mean, like we was talking about the whole fetish thing, like there is a website, aka fatlife.com, that is available for people that are into different fetishes. There's everything. You got things from like you got all the BDSM community on there. You got people that are like, you know, the whole switch thing. You got the trannies, and I don't know the correct word. I don't know what you want me to call them. But the people that, you know, them are on there, and all these different things, different subs, different things you're into. Everything's in there on this website. And, you know, it's just like Facebook. You create a profile. You can actually share stories. You can write a story. You can post pictures. You can post videos. You can post a status, like, you know, like how you feel and shit like that. You can just post random anything. There's different groups to join on there. There's all this different shit on it.
It's like a fetish Tumblr.
No, but it's more like a Facebook or like an I wouldn't say an Instagram, but
I get what you're saying.
it's more like a Facebook where there's groups you can join that you can post in, you know, there's shit like that. And then you can have your own profile with pictures and videos and whatever and statuses, and then you share stories and all this other thing. But it's a big popular thing in the fetish community, and that's what a lot of people use. And then there's a lot of times where people will share like events. Like, I don't know if you know this, but there's a lot of clubs. There's like 4 or 5 clubs in Columbus that are fetish clubs that do different events and stuff like that. And there's one club that does a specific event every month. They do an event and where everybody goes, and like obviously you do shit, and you can like, you don't have to have sex with random people, but you can like, you know,
can basically watch or do whatever.
Well, you can get tied up. You can get, you know, spanked a little bit. You can do a little bit of this. You can do a little bit of that. You know what I mean?
It's basically
And
a
then
fetish orgy.
If you choose to hook up with somebody, then there's maybe a hotel that's connected to it that you can go to and
I mean,
do different things. You know, there's rooms and shit like that.
I mean, I've had someone, actually, I've had, you know, someone I was kind of talking to ish barely. I mean, he wanted to take me to one of these parties back, you know, before I got with my ex and everything, but it just never came about.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't think people realize how big the community actually is, and stuff like that. It's like there's actually a lot of shit to it, and a lot of people don't realize that. But I mean, it is what it is. You know, maybe not everybody's into it, and I understand that, but
right,
there's resources out there. All right, back after baby situations.
Listen, single mom struggles over here, okay? You gotta have a life and take care of your kid at the same time. You gotta have some crying in between.
That is true, and I deal with the repercussions of this.
I don't want repercussions of what? Shotgun and fucking cut water?
Sure, of the baby.
Oh, whatever.
And we're back.
With baby once again.
Yeah, like I said, anything that needs to be cut out can be cut out. But, you know, we back on the situations. We talking about fetishes and fetish website. What's your since you've taken the test, I feel like I'm going to have to take this test and repost my results on this podcast.
You can only post it on my next episode on with you. We got to continue it that way.
Because I feel like I'm going to have to take this test again. But I mean, like, there are different, everybody's into different things. Yes, you can say. I was surprised when I was going through this and like trying to figure out shit. I was surprised how many different terms and how many different fetishes or things that it was.
Right.
I'll get over that. Like when I was like first diving into it, I'm like, this seems like a lot of fucking different things. You know, I mean, like it's not like we got 7 million different genders, but I mean, shit, like these 7 million different fetishes is whole nother situation.
Listen, you're going to get me canceled. Not just been on here for the first time.
Nobody canceled, but let's hear these results.
Well, I think real quick, just so we can both get a refresher, you might want to pull up like the definitions of these. Like I can't really think of like, you know, the term.
Put them on screen kind of deal.
Or even just like on your phone, you can explain them because I don't remember the full definition. I have a screenshot of my camera roll of all this.
I can tell you what if I know it or not. I mean, it just depends on if it's one of them situations I might know it by hand.
Oh, okay.
Like I said, that there's been kind of some experience in this community.
I mean, what's funny too is like some of these like I never really dabbled in, but it put me like so. I'm gonna read about. I don't know, because like a lot of these go really low. Because like for instance, like I don't fuck with sadists. They piss me off.
Yeah, I wouldn't read like your low results. I would probably read until like you hit about like 50% or something like that. That's probably all the ones that really matter.
Well, we can go down to like, it's like, you know, dummy down like to like what, like light orange, like 33%.
Sure.
Okay,
sure,
so
that's what you want to go to.
Actually, I wish I could find. I have two different results. I have my older results from a couple of years ago, and then I have these ones.
Oh, you have older. So you see, that's the thing. It changes over time.
Exactly.
Because there may be something that you've never experimented with, and then you try it, and then you're like, well, I really don't like this.
I wish I would have found this
and
a lot sooner. Because it was, again, you know, bringing back the ironic time of why I took this test. There's a friend I was talking to at the time. You know, some things happened, and he would always be like, "Oh, I'm a sadist." Found out. To each their own, but I don't fuck with sadists. Like, you can be a sadist and do whatever, but, like, you don't gotta be a piece of shit about it and basically force someone into relations if that's not what you want.
Yeah, I don't know what that term is exactly off the top of my head, but yeah, fuck you guys.
I mean,
I don't know. I don't even know.
If you would like to look into that, that's on you.
No, I'm good.
I don't think I'm gonna find the older results. Maybe it's a fucking deep dive. Okay, here's my old results. So this was from April of 2019. And we're going to go about down to like the top of like the light orange.
Sure.
So for 87% back in 2019, I got rope bunny, which we obviously know what that means. You got that one?
I know rope bunny pretty well.
Okay, and 59% with switch. Okay. And before I started experimenting, I was at 58% for vanilla, 55% for submissive, 47% for owner, 44% for master / mistress. Now, the daddy mommy thing is kind of weird that I have a kid. Like, I don't see, this is like what's weird. I never really experimented with that. Like, I don't know how I feel about someone calling me mommy. If it was another girl, I'd think about it, but like having two kids, especially Lily being off to say it, like saying mommy, and just I don't think I could do it. But 42% dominant, 38% brat. I don't like this one, but 37% slave. It's just, I don't really care for that. Like, it depends. Like, again, the whole, like, sadist thing or, like, someone being in control. Like, I like to have my limitations set.
Speaking about the devil, what's good? You back? Oh, shit, my bad. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right.
You done had him muted. Good going.
Hey, we talking about fetish results right now. Fetish test.
All right. Shit. And then we're going to go back to now my recent ones of October. First off, forgot to plug the website. It's bdsmtest.org. I'd recommend taking the longer version so you get a more thorough, like, the one I did was a shorter test. This one I did now is a longer one. It'll explain more of, like, what they mean and everything. Kind of dive into, help people understand things like the website you mentioned or just, you know, getting into communities wherever you decide to. But we're going to start with a bold 93% for switch. Because like you talked about before, like my thing is like with guys, it's like 50-50. But with women, I like to be in, full control, and I kind of take on the male role or the dominant role, if you will, I guess, the pants in the relationship. What is so funny?
Nothing. I'm just listening.
All right. 89% with a rope bunny, followed by 79% rigger.
I don't know what that term is. I know the other ones.
I'm confused as hell.
We're going over, because he brought up a fetish website and like fetishes again. And we're talking about like, there's like a BDSM test you take and it like tells you like your percentages of like the technical terms of what you're into a certain category.
What'd you say, rigger?
Yes.
I gotta find out what this is exactly. I don't know. I don't even know if you know.
I mean,
that's some wild shit.
What do you mean it's some wild shit?
I just kind of only heard bits and pieces, so I'm kind of confused about. Said something about some leashes or something.
No. Got the rope bunny. The rope bunny obviously is.
Do you need help looking it up?
It says from Flip region of the BDSM rigger. I'm so confused.
Hold on.
Is the rigger the person that ties up the rope?
Yes,
bunny,
it's the person that yes.
I get that now. Okay, I understand this.
I
knew what rope bunny mean, but I did not know what.
I mean, I knew what it meant, but I was thinking how technical you would get. And then like I'll have like 68% dominant. So again, like when I'm even with guys, again, that's not really my cup of tea. It was just, poor life choices, if you will. I love my kids, but
poor life choices, my ass.
Anyway, dominant, but that's mostly the female side. And then coming in with an experimentalist. I don't fuck with this one though. Brat tamer. I don't fuck with that shit.
You never had a girl like that?
I mean, like to an extent, yes. Being like,
there was.
Oh, make me. Oh, haha. Like
I was in a conversation with somebody that was more of a brat or something, I guess you could say, at one point in time. And yeah, it's kind of annoying. I don't know. Like, it's not one of my favorites either. It's kind of annoying to deal with.
The most interesting one I got on here at 34% is non-monogamous, which I don't know. Like, if it was something I actually was dating, I don't think I could share that person, but it would just come down to the situation.
Yeah, because Christian's a big component of that. He would never share his girlfriend.
No, you can't trust people.
So you're probably like close to almost 100% that way, Christian. You would never do it.
Hell no.
Which makes sense.
That's some weird shit.
I understand where you're coming from. I mean, obviously not everybody is okay with it, and like not everybody is down with it. So I mean, that makes complete sense that you would not be okay with it.
I mean,
I think people who do that shit, they have fucked up characters.
Fucked up character. What? Why do you feel that way? Do you feel like it's something in their judgment, or do you just feel like maybe in the relationship there isn't really a real connection there if they're allowing their?
I think how people are in a relationship says a lot about people's character.
So then how do you feel about married couples in the whole swinger community then? If that's like a bigger issue of just like non-monogamous boyfriend, girlfriend.
Yeah, I mean, I just feel like there's some problems there, but I think people are just tired of each other. Because I feel like when you're married, like when you choose to be married, it's kind of more of like a commitment thing. Like, and I go back to like you're doing it before God, like, so like, it's just like, in my opinion, when people do shit like that, it kind of makes them look morally fucked up.
I mean, aside from like the spiritual religious aspect, like I think where I come from with that is that I feel like if I were to do it, say if I was with my son's dad, we talked about in this past like that I wouldn't mind bringing someone in, but at the same time, I feel like I would get jealous at the end because he's spending time with that person, and then who knows if she brought something in, or I don't want those two going off into fling, and then I'm over here like, what the fuck? Like if I don't trust it,
Yeah, then they can leave your ass, you know?
Right. Like, now, if we're all single, it's a mutual one-time thing, cool. Like, as long as no sketchy shit, as long as y'all clean, that's fine by me. But, like, I can't be in a committed relationship and then trust the person I'm with to not go run off after.
Exactly.
Now, what if you were on the opposite side of that, though, and you were, like, okay with it? Say, like, you were, like, okay with your significant other hooking up with just women, but maybe not another dude, because I know there's swingers like that. They're like, yeah, we can do like half swap but not full swap kind of deal.
So like a wife swap, if you will, but like,
yeah, but like you wouldn't let somebody else's.
So you're gonna let a man fuck your girl, but you're gonna watch the camera like, hey.
Yeah, you basically would let her hook up with another woman, but you would never let her hook up with another dude kind of situation. Like that's
if she's allowed to fuck bitches, I'm allowed to fuck bitches.
I get that, but I'm just saying, like, I know that's a thing. Like, there are people out there that do that. Like, they just let their wife hook up
There's
with
people
whoever.
out here that do everything. There's people out here that shoot up a church.
God, that's extreme.
Yeah, that's a little far there, Chris.
I mean,
It's a little far, but it's true. There's people out there like doing everything and anything.
You right.
I'm not gonna lie. Like the whole like girls, or your female partner hooking up with whatever. Like, when I towards the end of my relationship with my son's dad, like I even mentioned, I was like, I'm not gonna lie, like girls have been on my mind again. That's usually like what I'm geared towards. Like guys are like it's like very hit or miss. It's not really. But with women, I'm like always spot on. Like yes, it's what I want. I told him, I was like, it's here's where I'm at again. Like he basically told me like I don't care if you have a little friend on the side, if it's a female only that you're hooking up with, but as long as I just know.
See, but now how would you feel if you were in a female relationship, female, and you introduced a third female? Would it be okay? Or
if are we all participating then?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like if you think you're going to be jealous over your guy hooking up with another female and possibly running away, would you be jealous of a female hooking up with a female and possibly running away? Or is that a whole different situation?
It's different because the way we were talking about it was that like I was primarily into girls and and he can't give me the satisfaction that a girl would. So it's basically like if I feel like, if I want to have a friend that connect with, like say if even, I found a friend that was also a relationship, we just both like were into females, but had male partners, like he's allowing me to go get that need fulfilled, but I can still come back to him because I can fulfill his needs 100%.
I get it.
But also like, if I wasn't in a relationship, like, with the whole, like, before we get off this topic, like, how would you feel if a couple want to bring you in as their, unicorn, as people say?
That's what that term means.
Yeah, unicorn basically means that you're like a married couple together, whatever their relationship status is. A unicorn is the one they bring in.
That'd be a swell conversation with my girlfriend. Come home and be like, "Yeah, these two bitches at work, they said they want to bring me in."
First off, motherfucker, you can't even talk to another girl without getting in trouble, let alone
can't think about them.
Thinking about having sex with another group of girls.
Yeah, you right.
So, like, how would you feel, like, if someone to bring you in?
If somebody brought me, I kind of was in that situation with the lesbians. Besides, it was a one-on-one thing. It wasn't like a team.
That doesn't you love count. Talking about them lesbian story, don't you? You love that shit. That was the highlight of your life.
That was a fun time. That was the story I will tell my children one day when they're older.
The hell you will.
The hell I will, exactly.
No,
maybe my guy, if I ever end up having a boy, I'm definitely going to tell him the situation.
Well,
that's a good time.
I shouldn't even invited you. Me and Label should just went.
Oh, wow. Fuck you. Why? So you could have been that hooked up?
Hell no. I wasn't hooked up with him.
You put the bitch in a chokehold and had her crying.
Yeah, because she was fucking with me.
Now, masculine lesbians thinking they the shit, and then when they get put in their place by a dude, then they're like, oh shit, I can't do that.
Yeah, fuck her.
I mean, Tyler's trying to. No. Sorry, Big Crispy.
No. But, I mean, on that topic, though, I mean, it's a whole different world. There's so many different things out there nowadays. It's hard to keep track of everything and everybody and everybody's likes and whatever, dislikes and whatever. I mean, like, you don't know. Your next door neighbor could be a freak and you don't know it. You know what I mean? They could be having orgy parties at their
So in
house
other
or some
words,
shit.
you gotta look out for the upside down pineapples. What you're saying?
Not always the upside down pineapple. I mean, shit. There's people that keep it secret. Let's be honest here. Like, there's people that been in those type of fetishes for a long time, and they just they don't go with the terms or whatever. They just stick to what they do, and they have their select groups, and they do what they want to do.
I mean, you have a fair point. I mean, also, like, with our generation, like, slightly above us, like, we're now a more open, accepting community, if you will. So people are more open to talk about it. There's more, like you said, websites, groups. Back then it was frowned upon if you weren't, one man, one woman, monogamous. So not even to bring that into, like, debate or whatever.
I kind of like that. I mean, I don't give a fuck if people. I don't give a fuck, like, if people are gay or whatever, or with the same sex. I think, but I do like the idea of monogamy, though, because I feel like, I don't know, I just like that idea because it makes me think you have a pretty good moral character. Because, hey, you're committing to somebody and you're saying, hey, I just want to be with you, and I'm standing by that.
Yeah, and I mean that.
Like, it makes, like, say you have, like, I've had friends that I know in the past that we've talked about, like, who had a good girl at home and shit, and they would just go out and cheat on them and shit, and that shit's fucked up.
I agree with that. I mean, if you're in that type of relationship, I think you have to be in the right mindset to be able to do that. But like you said, I don't know if I could share my relationship either, like a sexual relationship with like that with people. I don't think I could do that. Like, it would have to really depend on the situation. You would have to really trust the other person.
Right.
Like, maybe if it's like, say you're with somebody for years and there is a person that you have interest in and you've known them for like 10 years or something like that, or maybe 5 years, and you trust them really well and they're basically like a really good friend to you, and something happens, maybe you could see where, like, maybe a situation like that, you're like, oh, okay, it's not that bad. But I could, like, a random person off the street, no, you can't ever do that. That's just fucking some weird shit. That's why I think most of these,
I've never been able to trust somebody enough for that.
Yeah, but I think most of these people that do that shit, it's with people they trust versus with, like, random ass people. I'm sure there's people that hook up with random people like that, but I don't see how you could do it. That'd be too awkward and too weird.
Yeah, and nowadays you can't trust people are really staying clean. Now you're like,
no, yeah, you can't at all.
There's too much going around.
Yeah, but I mean, that's the same situation. Like, when, like, look how many times, not only that, but like even your person cheats on you, and then next thing you know, you get a fucking disease or something from it. Like, that's a whole different situation. But with people just basically being careless nowadays, like, it can happen to anybody at any time, and it's kind of fucked up.
Right.
I don't know. Shit's just crazy nowadays.
It is. I mean, but it's going to continue like that. That's the problem, right? So, like, this shit really didn't flourish until, like, the internet and social media and shit came along. Like, once that shit came along, that's when you realize, like, oh shit, like, all this shit's coming out. People have an outlet to express their opinions and their things on. And that's really when, like, all this shit took off.
Right.
These new kids about to be fucked the fuck up.
You ain't wrong, bro. They got to be into some shit you never heard of by the time you're done with it.
I got some shit I actually want to ask you. So, since we already went off on some fetishes, like, I'm kind of curious on where you stand, because also I know someone personally, I'm not going to mention her name. I don't know if she wants us to disclose, like, too publicly, but since you keep playing with a knife, I wanted to ask you, have you heard of, or are you into knife play?
Oh, I've heard of it for sure.
I've heard of it. Yeah, that's just, I don't know. I've seen my friend. I seen somebody slice his arm with a knife and shit, and blood all over the floor. So I'm kind of good on that.
I think I think we know who we're talking about here, but I don't think that's for sexual, pleasure.
Yeah, we're not talking about like self-mutilation. Like, that's a whole nother realm.
I don't think I would be into anyone cutting me, and I don't think I would be comfortable cutting somebody else.
It's not even so
I'm
much.
not into that.
And I don't think I would be comfortable dealing with somebody cutting themselves.
Right. I mean, because like
If
she
that's
even
what you
mentioned
wanna-
like, you
if that's
know,
how you want to put it.
like even the use of like fake blood. Like he said, like I couldn't imagine that because like also like not to bring this so a dark thing, like, you know, someone that deals with self-mutilation or has in the past, like I don't think I could bring that into something sexually and make it not uncomfortable and just cause like a problem.
No, I mean, because even to like the BDSM community, like there's a limit to where you're like, when you see people that are like basically beaten and bruised to the point where like they're bleeding and shit like that, it's like, oh, that's a little too far.
How is that shit even sexy?
Exactly. Well,
Some people just love the pain, Christian. I don't get it.
well, it's not even the pain. Like, what's bad is like I know people have talked about it, like but I mean I don't agree with it coming from my background as you know, but like people are into like you know either like death or like rape scenarios.
Yeah, that shit's wild. That shit's wild. I don't understand how you can be into like my thing is, did something traumatic happen to them in that situation where they get off? Like that's the only way they can get off is like by having that situation again. Because I feel like nobody sane and like in their right mind would just be like, I want this to happen to me.
Well, there's actually a proven fact. I don't know like how like you know, okay, how proven it is. I'll put that out there. But there has been kind of studies or just people have made it points that people like you know me that have been through traumatic past, like you know stuff like that, tend or you know or mentally ill tend to have kinks of that nature, like restraint, choking, like rigors.
Well,
like
yeah,
that.
I mean, it's the same thing with like daddy issues. If you think about it, a lot of girls that have daddy issues look for people that, you know, kind of make them feel that way or like kind of have the dad type of vibe or whatever.
Just
like,
fill that void.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those things is like whatever you are uncomfortable with, whatever you have an issue with, whatever's fucking you up mentally, they find satisfaction in dealing with that in a sexual way. And I'm like, I don't get how people can do that. It's
Some
just weird.
fucked up bullshit, the human mind, huh?
I mean, it's the
Right.
same thing with mommy issues, though. You know what I mean? Like, how many dudes out there like hook up with older women and want somebody to treat them like a mom or some shit like that because they had mom issues? And don't point at me. That is not my style.
Yeah, you're dating fucking girls older than your mom.
MILFs and shit. That's not because I have mommy issues. I'm not hooking up with MILFs because I have a mom issue. That's definitely not it.
I mean,
I just prefer older women with the experience and the, you know, easier to conversate. I'm an old soul at heart, I feel like, so it's easier for me to connect with somebody at
That's
an
why you
older
get along
age.
with all them older women at
Yeah,
work.
and even
Yeah.
older guys, man. Like, I mean, think about it. How many of my friends are older men because, like, I just connect with them easier than a fucking
Yeah,
high
that's
school,
me too.
a high school
Right.
frat boy or a fucking college frat boy. Like, I don't connect with those type of people on a friendship level. Like, by no means. I like the older crowd. You know, I kind of have that, like,
Yeah, me too.
older
That's why I like
mindset.
to go to Nasty.
Exactly. Like, and look how many friends we have up there. Look how many people we know and we talk to on a daily basis. Every person we know is like over the age of 45, you know, or older
Yep.
that we normally talk to and are friends with. Like it doesn't have to deal with like, oh, it's a fetish thing. No. It's definitely a preference of people. I hate our generation. Their generation
it's stupid.
of this age sucks. I cannot stand them. They're fucking annoying.
They're triggered.
Everybody bitches about everything. That's the problem. Everybody gets offended by everything. I can't deal with it. Like I give up. I cannot fucking deal with my own generation. Dating people my age
No.
fucking sucks because everybody is selfish nowadays. They want what they want or they want you to take care of them. Not my problem. I don't want to do that. So that's why I don't fuck with you.
Right.
And that's kind of how it is. And, you know, I'm not going to bend over backwards for somebody. Like, think about the people before in the past. Like, I talked to them. They'd be like, I would stop talking to them if they're like, oh, I don't have a job. I don't know what I want to do with my future. I'm not going to school. I'm not doing anything. Like, why the fuck would I want to be with you? Why would I want to be with somebody that I have to take care of that has multiple kids or something like that? I don't care if you have like a kid or two, but like have some ambition in your life. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want somebody to sit there and tell me like, hey, I don't want to do anything with my life. I don't know what I want to do. You know, if
I
you
want you to take care of me and I'll sit at
yeah,
home.
but like if you have a job and if you don't have a job, but you're going to school and you're going to school to be something and you know what you want to be, that's one thing. But if you don't have a job and you're not going to school and you're basically like, well, I don't know what I want. Like I have dealt with other people and they're just like, I really don't care. I just want somebody to take care of me. I want to be a stay-at-home mom. No, I don't want to deal with that shit.
No.
Like, I want somebody that's going to have drive, ambition, and like actually passion in their life instead of somebody that just wants to sit at home and do nothing. Like,
I feel like a lot of women secretly want to be a stay-at-home mom.
I do not. I can't stand it. I was just going to say about that. I respect people that can, or, have a relationship with their, that their father, or child, or whoever, stay-at-home dad, stay-at-home mom, whatever. I respect what people do either way. I can't do it because, like, I need the interaction. I want to feel like I'm actually doing something with myself. Like, I need to make money. I can't imagine. I don't get any interaction. I sit at home at a damn TV screen or talk to my son. He can't talk back.
Think about the neighbor next door, right? She has 2 kids and she's a stay-at-home mom. Her husband's the only one that works, right? And she just sits at home all day, doesn't fucking change out of her pajamas. She's always in the same fucking baggy clothes and shit like that. How do you do that? How do you do that mentally, being able to sit there and just do nothing all day?
It sucks.
And just take care of your kids and like not get out in the world and do something. She like never leaves the house unless like he's home. The only time they ever leave the house is like when they're together.
I mean, some people are like at that point mentally in their life where like they can't leave the house, or just who knows, like mentally from where I'm at, I have to get out because I'm losing my damn mind being in the house. Like, like especially thinking stay home, like you have to build a structure and routine to your day. If I don't want to sit in my PJs all day. I have to sit there and get dressed. I have to sit here, make a routine, do this at that time. Like, I don't get how people do it. Like, I would go fucking nuts.
For real. I mean, how do you feel, Christian? You're the outlier here with no kids. Like, if you were in that situation and you were a dad, would you want your wife to stay at home full time and not do anything? Or would you be able to stay home full time as a dad and not do anything?
Hell no. 2 incomes are better than 1. Let's just put it that way.
And nowadays, you can't live without 2 incomes. That's the problem.
Exactly.
And also, too, say if, like, the one person supposed to be working loses their job, automatically gets laid off, whatever, y'all are screwed.
Yeah, let's go to that situation where somebody I know personally that their significant other decided, hey, I'm going to be stay-at-home mom, right? And decided to quit their job and basically say that they're not going to work anymore. And they ended up losing their place they were staying at and all this other shit because the one income wasn't cutting it. And, like, you can't do that nowadays. No. You can't be selfish in a relationship. That's what causes a lot of issues, I think, is when you become selfish and you're not willing to work out your problems with somebody else. That's where you fail. That's where the relationship fails. And if you aren't willing to work on it, then, how are you ever going to have a healthy relationship?
You're not. Like, you got to be a team. Like, I mean, I can play, from like my last relationship. Like, I mean, yeah, we're on some good terms, specifically for the sake of my son. But like, when we were together, like I was a sole provider. And when you're not working as a team, even just, not even like financially, but emotionally and physically, like it's strenuous. Like, putting that all into one person, it is just not right. A relationship is meant to be a team commitment. And if you're not ready for that, then why do you get one at all?
Like you pay for something, she pays for something.
Or you guys go half and half. Like I've been on dates and, I was raised by just my dad. So I have like, I guess a male mentality on this. But when I go out on a date, if the guy wants to pay for me, honestly, I suggest like, hey, can we go Dutch? I don't mind paying 50-50, or we can take turns paying for the dates, like you said, or paying for whatever we're doing. Like I believe in equal, everything being equal. There's no sense in making everyone having that sole responsibility, or just,
I think the 50-50 thing is kind of done. I think it should just be more of, I got it this time, you got it next time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But like, that makes 100%. But I mean, look at like, people that in relationships where the one specific significant other is paying for everything. They end up growing a sense of, like, I wouldn't say hatred, but, like they get upset about it over time. They end up like becoming in the relationship. They become frustrated by it. They're like, like I'm paying all the fucking bills. They do nothing. The only thing they pay for is like their cell phone or something. And they don't pay for anything else. And basically, like, that person gets upset and they're unhappy because of it. You know what I mean? You can't expect somebody to take on full responsibility and be happy by it. They're eventually going to be frustrated.
I mean, like, I can even talk, like, not even being frustrated, but, like, for instance, I'm in debt. Like, I have credit card debt from taking care of this person. And at the time, like, they came from a background where they didn't have much, and now was an opportunity in my life where I could finally give them, what they wanted or needed, because I know how that feels too growing up. And as all said and done, you end up building this relationship where you let them use you, and they'll take that and run. And then you're, facing legal problems, financial issues, you name it, or even just like, relationship and commitment issues. Like you're putting yourself through so much strenuous, unneeded bullshit, if you will, to make someone happy when you guys are making each other happy and building as a team.
Not only that, but like if you think about it, like you said, how many times did you have to buy a cell phone or this and that, and like you took care of somebody financially, and that puts strain on the relationship, because when they fuck up and they expect you to take care of their fuck up, or they expect you to replace what they broke or whatever, it's like, well, why aren't you doing that with your income? Because you're too busy spending your income on shit that is unnecessary or something. And then you get that in your mindset. You're never going to be in a happy relationship when you are taking care of someone, and it's going to frustrate you, and you're going to take that frustration out on them.
Right. I mean, it's also like, what's, I guess from my standpoint, it's like, it wasn't always like just them. Like it got to a point where like, I felt like, if I wanted to do it for them, I would, or I feel like, like I was the only one that would take care of that person. So like at the end of the day, like I think just that mentality or that action, kind of builds a poor mentality into the situation over time. Like it no longer just didn't feel like, oh, I want to, feel like, oh, I have to, because no one else will step up and take the plate, or, they're going to be without if I don't help them with this. So, and that's not right.
Right.
Hell no. You should have been like, all right, well, I guess you're going to be out.
Learn that one the hard way.
I mean, how do you feel like that, Christian? Because I feel like maybe in past relationships or whatever, you may have dealt with one of the situations where you feel obligated, or you feel like you're responsible. They're making you feel responsible, and then like it gets frustrating over time.
Oh, yeah, for sure. It does a little bit. Just depends. I mean, I ain't never been with somebody that like just wants me to pay for everything and shit.
Right. I mean, but like I've been in that before. Like think about the one person that I was talking to at that one time when she's like, oh, why don't you buy this for my family? And why don't you buy this for, whatever, and buy this for my dad and help me out with this, or can you, spare me some money for this? It's like, no, like after like the first time you're like you have a job. Why are you asking me for money, or why are you asking me for, it's not my fault. You can't manage your money well to the point where basically you're relying on me to try to help you out. And then like when you say no, then that person gets mad, and then you realize like, well, you're just basically using me. That's what it is about.
Right.
You could give two shits what I fucking do, or who I am as a person, or like how I'm trying to help. Like I offered to help you maybe the first time as a good, goodness out of your heart, and it's like that's somebody you're with. But if they are going to take advantage and try to, basically take advantage of you every time you want to offer help, then they're just a shitty person in the end of the day.
Yeah.
I agree with that 100%.
Oh, real. I think that's all the real topics we covered, huh? I don't think there's anything left on that list.
I mean, we kind of drifted off quite a bit.
I know. That's what we do though here on the podcast. We don't always stay on topic.
Yeah, I mean, we covered everything in like a weird loop, if you will.
Yeah, I mean, well, we're kind of approaching that close to 2 hour mark. We're about at an hour and 40 or whatever. I mean, I know Christian's got to get ready for work here not too long.
Yeah, I mean, all I gotta say is just try to find somebody that like you can be a team with, like she was saying.
Right.
And, yeah, because also nowadays, like, look, again, fuck our generation. That's why I go to older too. That's what I'm gonna say. Is like speaking of like that girl or whatever wanting you to pay for her shit, even for her family. Look at our generation now. They want sugar daddies. I mean, to each their own. Like to an extent, yeah, it's cool. But at the same time, it's like I don't want to feel like I need to rely on someone. I want someone there that I know that like we can do things together. But also, it's like our generation struggles with independence.
Yeah, well, because they're always
like
expecting
all the rap stars, just like all the rap stars that make songs, like well, they're basically saying, well, if he ain't spending no money, then he ain't getting no pussy.
Yeah,
that's some stripper shit at that point. If you want that, then go dance on the pole and call it a day.
Well, I mean, it's not only that, but I mean, it's just people in general. Like, I mean, I think they expect, like, if you think about it growing up, you got to blame the parents too, because If you're giving your child everything and you're giving into every little need, they're going to expect that out of life when they grow up. You know what I mean?
Right.
So when they're 16, you know, when they're in their preteens and like their teenage years and you're giving into every demand, they're going to expect everybody to give into every demand when they grow older and they're on their own. And that's not how the world works.
No.
And that's why people have a hard check with reality when it comes to it. They're like, well, everybody just hates me or everybody's against me. It's like, no, nobody's against you. It's just, that's how the world works. Some random person on the street.
Need to realize that the world doesn't give a fuck about this.
No, for real. Yeah, they don't. Like, nobody gives a fuck about your problems at the end of the day. Everybody's going through some shit. So the random person.
Fuck if you broke except for your mama or your daddy.
Exactly. So it's like, shit, you can't really be mad at anybody else because you had expectations that were unmet. You know what I mean?
Right.
Toxic ass shit.
You know how it goes. Toxic ass relationships. That's all that's out there nowadays.
That and red flags everywhere.
Shit, tell me about it.
Everybody's got their issues though, but you just got to find somebody whose issues you can deal with that you don't think are too big issues.
Right. And I mean, that's the thing though. Like, that's the only way to have a successful relationship nowadays too, is just you have to work as a team and you have to work out your issues. How many people just decide, you know, hey, like there's shit going on, I'd rather not deal with it, I just move on instead of actually working out. I mean, shit, look at your grandma and grandpa that was married for 80 years. Do you think they never had issues? Yeah, they had hella issues. But the reason they fucking stuck out through it and the reason they were able to get through it is because they worked out those issues. They didn't just fucking leave, you know? I'm sure there's times
leave
that
and go find some new bitch at the bar.
Yeah, there may have been times that they wanted to do that, but they never did. And that's why their relationship lasts so long.
I mean, also look at our generation or just, you know, even like, you know, our generation above us. Everyone is so quick to get in relationships and they think that, you know, you need to get engaged within a year and then get married. Like, well, marriage is not what it used to be, or just, you know, even commitments in general, because everyone's so quick to rush into it without even knowing each other. And then that's why the divorce rate for our generation is so high.
Yeah, but there's also like some marriages, you know, there are some people that get married quick and last longer than people that, you know, were together for 8 years.
Just a 50-50 shot, but
yeah, but I'm not saying that that's the thing to do.
Well, no, I heard this statistic that the people that live together a long time before they're married have a higher chance of getting divorced than people who get married quickly and live together right after. They call it the open window thing. Like, oh, the window's still open.
Yeah, because if you think about it, I mean, my one buddy that I was friends with got married after being in a relationship for like 4 or 5 years, right? And then they were divorced within 3 months. And he even said, like, he basically told me, it was like, yeah, our relationship wasn't going well even before the marriage. And it's like, why did you go through with the marriage then? They were like, well, we thought we could work it out. And it's like,
I guess I get that.
Sometimes you never know. I mean, look how many people aren't married, though, that have been in relationships for a long time and are still unhappy in those relationships, but they've just stick with their partner because they feel like they have no other option.
Been there.
Like, that's a whole nother deal in and of itself. Tell me about it.
I think he's trying to shit.
But anyways, I mean, we're approaching that 2-hour mark. I know you got to get ready for work soon. We're going to probably run out to the store and try to enjoy the rest of the day while it's nice out. So we'll probably wrap it up here. Do you got any last words for the people, Christian?
All I got to say is everybody have a great day. I'll be back live in person with my wonderfulness next week.
Oh, yeah. I can't wait to be live in person with you. I'll tell you that much. Shit. Any last words for you?
I mean, I don't think so. I mean, other than if there's, you know, a good looking woman out there, you know, I'm single. Just kidding. Can't do that right now. But no, I mean, just
free babysitter.
I don't, you know, you can't trust nobody nowadays. I don't even trust daycares. So I'm going to go work really with him. But no, I mean, honestly, I'm going to say it's a fuck our generation. You know, everything needs to be as a team, not just, you know, if you're together, it's not just I do this and you rely on that one person. And at the end of the day, to each their own, everyone's into what they're into.
Yeah,
Just be a good person.
Yeah, pretty much.
Just don't be a piece of shit. That's all you got to do.
Hey, that ain't too bad. I mean, I don't really have anything to say to the people besides, we'll see you back here next Friday. We're going to get into Song of the Day like usual. Once again, remember, if you're on YouTube, Song of the Day is posted in the description, copyright reasons. Follow us on all socials. Once again, you can find us at No AC OnlyFans on most platforms. Maybe
Except
No
Snapchat.
ACOF. Yeah, we not on Snapchat. We was talking about that. Might have to get one of them. Easiest way to find us is Linktree. Just go to Linktree/No AC OnlyFans. You'll find us on there. With all of our different things. You can also find us on noaconlyfans.com. Go copy some merch, and we'll get into Hannah actually picked Song of the Day, but Christian, it's from one of your famous, your most liked bands out there. So go ahead. What is Song of the Day?
It is. I'll make sure I get the correct title because it's a great one, if you will.
A great one.
I think it's hilarious. It is. Hold on one moment.
Their song
It
titles
is.
are too
If
fucking
self-destruction was an Olympic event, I'd be Tonya Harding.
long. By
Suicide Boys.
Oh, shit.
So that's going to be Song of the Day. We will see you back here next Friday. We love you. Everybody stay safe out
Good night,
there
baby.
this weekend. And yeah, good night. And we'll catch you next time. Peace.